in the building. Skelly.
Yo, Laga. Yo, Laga. Sister, the next time you invite me now go forward. Yo.
You need to forward, please.
No, man, the stockpile of that place. You can't deal with it, no, brother.
Yeah, the big money in the place.
No, man,
Skelly.
Mr. Humble Servant, man. I just humility, you see me?
I know. I was checking your Facebook and I'm like, Skelly is not a social media person. He's not even on Instagram. He's not on Twitter.
Yo.
The Facebook account safe. The man don't even, he doesn't post nothing.
Yo,
but he's all over the place. Skelly, why? I don't know, but why are you hiding?
Yeah, this song.
Yeah.
You see, you see the Facebook thing?
Yeah.
Yo, it nearly cost man. It nearly cost I know. You see, the hustle with the pony, where man call we tour manager and thing. So for some of us, the avenue through which people try to get to artists is going to be through us.
Definitely.
Because we are like the gatekeepers.
Definitely.
And I'm not involved in the promoting of the artist per se. I'm not involved in the marketing. My thing is to look after the artist to the best of my ability.
Definitely.
To protect the artist.
Yeah.
And to make sure that it's only people that need to get access to the artist who do that. But you see, the name a fan is a fanatic. You see me? And when people are fans, they don't know where to draw the line. Right. Now, to get to the artist, of course you can't get to them directly. It has to be through their gatekeepers. And one of the last gatekeeper before you get to that person is probably going to be me as a tour manager. So when I was on social media and you go to places and they say, you are Skelly, they go to Facebook, they want to befriend you. And when we become friends, it becomes something else. So now they start pursuing, you are coming into town, you are coming next town, all right, I go there, And then, brother, the headaches, and personally, I don't do anything personally that requires me to have Facebook to promote myself or to do anything like that. So the hustle that it brings to my job is the reason why I decided to stay away from it.
Wow.
You see me? So as it is now, something like WhatsApp, you can't run away from it because once you have a number and it's on WhatsApp, people can reach you on WhatsApp.
Definitely.
So then again, my contact number as well will be something that I will protect. Because once you have my contact number, then you can get me on WhatsApp.
Definitely.
And the conversation is going to go on.
Definitely.
And the links will be made.
Yes.
So it come like, I'll protect my thing, brother. So the social media thing, I tell you, we're not too pretty.
But somebody might ask, at least, you're doing great jobs, out there. At least put 1 and 2 over there that people will know that, at least, you understand me? It is not even about even the friend thing, but, 1 and 2 important because you are a Ghanaian and you are doing marvelous work over there. And the main reason why I'm saying this is, it's like people doesn't even know that Skelly is even a Ghanaian.
Well,
doing all this.
Well, let me tell you, in a way, I think to each their own and to every individual, the way they try to project themselves. So you have people, I was talking to somebody yesterday and apparently there's somebody that works in a certain place that's very sensitive. But there are such social media people that when the person gets a chance to travel out of the motherland to a different, jurisdiction, but where they work is such that you should not be exposing yourself because of the sensitivity of who your employer is. But the person goes out and because they're out there, abroad, so you will take picture and put on, it doesn't, the work you do, so you see you, for instance, you are a DJ and you are a selector and you do your song clash and things, you put things out. So you need social media to promote what you do. You see me? And there's productivity in you doing that.
Definitely.
Personally, I don't believe that there's anything productive in me. You know, me reach this place, yeah, take a picture and then dip on stage. No, I don't think it's personally. I don't think it's productive for me because I'm not. With all due respect to everybody, I'm not looking for a job. I'm not advertising myself for a job. Neither am I trying to. If I'm going to move from one job to the other, most of the time it's not even me that's moving. It's somebody that's coming and say, "Boy, Skelly, you know, she said, you know, can you come in and hold this?
Yeah.
You know, them kind of thing there." So it's not something that I've really considered. I've just seen, for me personally, I've seen it as something that rather hinders my work than promotes my work.
All right.
Is it?
Before we step into maybe your works in terms of tour management, I was asking a question before I played the Backstabber song from Israel Vibration. Where haven't you been yet in terms of the countries?
Oh, Laga. I think, and that's what I'm saying, that I was making a joke that the next time you call the team stockpile too high. But in all fairness,
Yeah.
There are a lot of places I haven't been. I mean, I haven't been to the continent of Asia. I haven't been, that's the only continent I haven't been on. I haven't been to Asia, but there are a lot of places I haven't been. Like, come on. I mean, when it comes to the industry in which I work and where reggae music is played, then I can say that I can count a handful of countries I haven't been to because these are the markets in which we work. So, for instance, if we talk about a place like Tibet, for instance, you don't go and play reggae music in Tibet. So I don't have any business going to Tibet. You know what I mean? But if you talk about if you're talking about the Europe, for instance, I mean, every city in Europe has either venues that embraces reggae music or a festival. You know, if you talk about Australia, for instance, I mean, we're going to talk about that in the future or soon, but like, we have festivals coming up in Australia now in the next couple of weeks. And it's from the west to the east. We're doing Perth, Brisbane, and Sydney. So that's another market. If you talk about New Zealand, you know, there's One Love Reggae Festival that is huge. That festival sells out every year. You know, so talk about New Zealand, we're going to be there. You know, you talk about Africa, all the countries in Africa. We all love reggae music in Africa.
Definitely.
So I've seen it. Which one be the other one? America. America, North America coming like the stomping ground because North America is where we do majority of our tours. You know, like, again, we're going to go talk about this, but like right now, for this year, for instance, we have, it's January, but now, like up to April, we have at least 3 different tours in just North America. So North America is huge. It's, you know, 330 million people over 52 states. So North America is huge. You know, South America, we're going to go Central America, Brazil, you know, them places. So then the Caribbean, you know. So I've seen a few places and I give thanks for that. But there are many places that I haven't been to as well.
All right. So you officially with Steel Pulse. Yo, Ghana. Yo, Ghana, wake up. Wake up, Ghana.
You know,
Ghana, wake up.
Like, I just want to talk about the song that you played, the Backstabber.
Yeah.
And, you know, you talk about Eche being on stage last night.
Definitely.
Jabode sent a text.
Definitely.
And then you play Backstabber. So I just want to ask you.
No, I don't want to say anything pertaining to the Backstabbers.
Is it just a coincidence or it just fell in place? Backstabber.
It's just music.
But I know music speaks.
Definitely. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're live on Asaase Radio. 6 minutes going into the R2, and we have international Ghanaian tour manager.
Laga, can you just say Skelly? Hold on. Can you just say it and stop there?
we have Skelly Dread in the place. You know what I mean? No, Skelly. You tour managing Steel Pulse.
Yes, Yes, sir.
You know, I know the Steel Pulse band is huge. And how do you go about it to manage, to tour manage, this band?
Tour management is like being an HR manager. And once you have the skill set and the competency, you can work in any organization. So you are the HR manager for Asaase or ABC Multimedia, or whatever it is called. You can leave Asaase and then go to an oil company to work. Or you can go to a financial company as an HR manager, because what is required of you to hold an HR role, I think, is the same everywhere. Okay, so when you talk about tour managing, the competencies you need to be able to be the captain of the ship. If it doesn't matter if it's Stone Roses or it's Janet Jackson or it's Michael Jackson of blessed memory or it's Bob Marley. Once you're a tour manager and you have the skill set to be able to captain a ship, then you can do it for everyone. Now, the dynamics will change based on the size of the band you're working with. And by size, I'm talking about the overhead, the head counts. So if, for instance, it's a Taylor Swift who is traveling with like 16 tour buses and like 30 trucks, production trucks, then you become a tour director rather than a tour manager, because the setup is bigger. So you would have the tour director, and then because you're traveling like 120 people, so there's going to be a lot of subsections and subdivisions and sub-managers who would all report to you as a director. But then when it comes to bands, anything less than or up to 20, the dynamics are the same. So it starts from when a date has been agreed between the agent and the band's manager. Once that agreement has been made, then a contract is issued. When a contract is issued, and then it's thrown to the tour manager to execute, right? So the execution of that contract is everything that it takes for, in Steel Pulse, there's going to be 13 of us on the road. So everything that it takes for all the 13 people to leave their home on the day they're leaving, come out on the road, execute their jobs, go back to their house and lock their key. Everything that it takes is on your head as a tour manager.
Wow.
And that it's just coordination, being able to be disciplined, being able to be organized, being assertive at the same time, being friendly. So once you tour manage one band, you can tour manage any band. Like in Morgan Heritage, there was a time that there was about 20 of us on the road. And we have, in Europe, when we have a tour bus, we normally have an 18 berth. 18 berth would be 18 bunks on the bus. In America, usually it's 12 berth. So one of the skills or one of the things as a tour manager is, so we have a bus that has 18 bunks, but there are 20 people on the road. So how do you juggle it? Because only 18 people are going to get beds. And then there are 2 people that will not have a bed.
Definitely.
So how do you juggle that? So that's where you have to show your skills as a tour manager, manage situations like that. So those are the challenges. But when there isn't any challenge per se, it's the same. From band to band, it's the same.
Wow. All right. So you've tour managed, Morgan Heritage. At a point in time, I saw you on the road with Raging Fire, and a couple of artists and all that. How you said if you're able to do one, then it means it is the same, and you can do A or B too. But comparing, let's say Morgan Heritage, you've been with Morgan Heritage, tour, manage them, play shows and all that. How was the treatment like? As in you now working with Steel Pulse.
When you say treatment, do you mean from my employer or from treatment from, or like, how do I treat them?
Yeah, how is the treatment like in terms of maybe working for the artist? You working for the artist, making sure that everything is okay, with them on the road and all that.
So this is what I say to people all the time. As a tour manager, when I'm not at work, I'm a king in my house.
Definitely.
I'm the king in my household.
Definitely.
But when I leave my house to go and tour manager, I'm a servant.
Definitely.
Of many people, right? Now, in my experience so far, Morgan Heritage is in the reggae industry. If you're able to work with Morgan Heritage, you can work with anybody.
Easy.
and this is the reason. The reason is because, we have artists and then we have bands, right? So I think I explained this before. If you take somebody like Buju or Beres or Shaggy or Maxi Priest, they are artists. So there's going to be Beres and then there's going to be the Harmony House Band. So when you're on the road, the treatment you give to Beres as the artist, because Beres will probably have a personal assistant, apart from you being a tour manager, there's going to be a personal assistant for the artist, Beres, as well. Before you look after the band, which is like 14 people, right? And the crew, right? If you take Buju, it's the same. Buju is the artist. But when you take Morgan Heritage as the artist, Morgan Heritage is made up of 5 siblings. Okay? Grams, Yuna, Peter, Mojo, and Lukes.
Yeah.
But all the 5 of them are the artists.
Yeah.
Before we have the band that is playing. Some of them, with Morgan Heritage, Grams plays keyboards as well. Lukes plays rhythm, the guitar. Yuna will sing. But with Morgan Heritage, the 5 of them are the artists. So if you think about treating Beres alone as an artist, when you work for Morgan Heritage, it's that times 5. Because all the 5 of them have to be treated as artists before you deal with a band as well. So going through Morgan Heritage is like going through a university of tour management or going to a university of music. It's a very tall order. Now, you ask me, how do you treat them? Well, artists are supposed to be treated like artists. They're supposed to be treated like superstars. So when an artist coughs, you need to find out, why did you cough? Do you need a cough mixture? Or if your drummer cough, it tells you better go find some medicine, You see me?
Yeah.
But when the artist cough, you don't tell him to go find medicine. You have to find out why he cough and what you can do to ease up the cough.
Okay.
Is it? So you treat them like an egg. You treat them with care. You treat them with total focus. And I'll give you an example. I was with Morgan Heritage in summer last year. And our last show, I think we spoke after we did that last show in Germany, somewhere in Germany. We had a very small stage. And Morgan Heritage is a big band. We are like 12 people on stage. And I wasn't even a tour manager for that. I was a personal manager for them. We had a tour manager. But as a personal manager, I'm supposed to make sure as well that the stage is comfortable for them to come on stage. So again, it rests on me. We have a tour manager, but I'll be the final person to give the thumbs up before the artist will come on stage.
Okay.
So we had a small stage, and then our usual stage plot. A stage plot is how everybody is placed on the stage. We could not implement our usual stage plot because the stage was too small. So we had to make adjustments. And then I went to place, looking at the side of the stage, I went to place somebody behind my lead singer, on stage. And that somebody was a guitarist. So he had his pedals and everything behind the lead singer. And it was time for us to go on stage. And this is me thinking I'm using my initiative that, okay, we have a small stage, so, I have to put this guy here. So when the man them reached down stage and look on the stage and the man sees a guitarist there behind him, I said, no, man, I'll go up on stage, man. Say, Skelly, don't go work, man. And our time, we were supposed to go on stage at 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
And it was 9 o'clock. The man said, no, man, Skelly, I'll go up on stage, man. That don't go work. The person... So basically what he's saying is he doesn't want the guitarist behind him. He doesn't care how small the stage is. That guitarist is not going to go behind him.
Wow.
It was time for us to start performing. Now, it rests on me. I have to sort that out and make sure that the lead singer is happy to go on stage. So when you say like, how do you treat them? It's an example. I had to move the guitarist from behind him. We have to make adjustments. So if it takes 15 minutes, he doesn't care. If he's not comfortable, he's not going on stage. So if it takes 15 minutes for us to move everybody around, that's our time is running down. And in the end, it's going to be my head on the chalkboard.
Wow.
Which is how it works. So you treat them like eggs so they don't crack and you can't pick it up again.
Easy.
But that being said, at the same time, you also treat the band with a lot of respect and care as well. You know, because without the band, we don't have music.
Definitely.
You see me?
Definitely.
So although the artist is your priority, at the same time, the band is equally important. They cannot push you around like the artist will push you around, but you got to give them some, you know, space as well and accord them the same courtesies or similar courtesies as they will require to be able to perform.
Definitely. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget that we will activate the phone lines for you to call in. If you have any question, trust me, Skelly is here. He will answer you nice and sweet. Yeah. Seriously. Yeah, you know. So please jot these numbers down or write it down. 0200 0200 009951 or 0594 0594 157777.
Easy.
And we're live on 99.5 in Accra, 98.5 in Kumasi, 100.3 in Cape Coast, and 99.7 in the northern region of Ghana, Tamale.
Easy.
This is Asaase Radio.
Asaase Radio.
And my name is King Lagazi. I die if you know.
Legacy, the girls, them pepper tree.
I saw you go.
Easy.
And my guest in the studio is Skelly Dread.
This one is a new one. The girl them pepper tree. Lord of mercy. But the girl them not like pepper. I don't sugar them like. Yo, Lagazi. Your team stockpile. Charlie, the stockpile, we need to go and find another phrase. Got the stockpile. Don't know how to work.
Skelly is not easy, man. Okay, so Skelly, you said one thing that caught my attention. You said working with, if you're able to tour manage Morgan Heritage, or tour managing Morgan Heritage is a whole university on its own. It means that you can work with any other artist. Now, when Grams came to Ghana, when Grams was coming to Ghana, I had a call all the way from UK that, yo, Lagazi, I said, yo, Skelly. He said, Grams is coming to Ghana and I want you to road manage him. I said, how do I do that? He said, all right, you know, I'm going to send you an email in terms of what to do, how to pick him up and all that. Brethren, Grams alone. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you see, so you can appreciate what I mean then.
Seriously.
You know, if Grams alone was that demanding times 5, and you have to remember, you know, Yuna, who's their big sister.
Yeah.
And as we speak now, of course, it's 3 of them now because Luke and Yuna are not touring anymore. But when I joined them, that was my induction. That was my baptism, you know. And Yuna is their sister. And those guys look after their sister. You know, Yuna was like, you don't mess with mommy.
Definitely.
You know, mommy was their focus. There were 5 of them, but their sister's comfort was extremely important to them. So if you saw what you had to go through with Grams, now Yuna as a woman, and to be fair, no disrespect to being sexist or gender splitter or whatever, but the emotions carried by a woman on tour is totally different from how we men do our things. You know, so a lot more focus and attention will go to Yuna than the 4 other brothers, you know? So, yeah, and that's what and you see, the reason I'm saying this as well is after being with Morgan Heritage, because I was with Morgan Heritage for over 10 years before I had a chance to tour manage somebody else. So after Morgan Heritage, when I got my first tour with Raging Fire, it was like I was on a holiday. It's no, like I'm serious. It was, I couldn't believe life could be that simple and easy.
Wow.
Brother, with Morgan Heritage, you don't understand what you have to say, brother. You don't, because you see, let's say we finish a show and we go back on the tour bus. There are 5 people. They have different sleeping patterns and different requirements. So maybe everybody going to their bunk and them did their lie down, maybe somebody's listening to radio, then you think, oh, okay, now I have the time to catch maybe some 20 minutes sleep or something. So you jump into your bunk and then one person calls you. They need something. So you go and deal with it. You come back, say, boy, all right, we deal with this man here. Let me get the next person calls you. They need something else. So you can't even get a decent night's sleep, brother.
Wow.
You can't even get so it's a mindset where when you're about to step out on the road with Morgan Heritage, you know that, Charlie,
you have to lock off your
4
mind.
weeks, yeah. You have to put your mind in a different realm.
Wow.
I
experienced that when Grams was here and I was with him on the road from morning. Yo.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. But I give thanks. That experience was something else, and I had to write a whole lot of things down. At a point in time, I quite remember one early morning around 4 a.m. we were supposed to move. And it was like I was sitting down like this and I was gone. And Grams walked straight to me and he tapped me. He said, Legacy. Before I opened up my eye, I said, I look at him and I'm like, you don't know how tired I am. He said, if we were to be on tour with you today, like you go home, you go back home.
No, but to be fair, I mean, there's been instances that tour managers have been sent home. They start a tour within 3 days, you're gone. You can't deal with it. You're gone. You're gone, man. And with Morgan Heritage, for instance, those guys were they are very skillful in everything. I mean, you deal with Mojo, they know everything.
Of course.
Everything. Like when I went to them, like Lux at the time was the person doing their admin. They know everything. There's nothing that they will meet on the road that they don't have an answer to. And this is me just coming and I'm learning the ropes. Yo, Laga, I tell you. But I give thanks because by the time, on the flip side, by the time I was ready, to move on to something else, to do somebody else, those people also saw me like a monster. Like, Skelly, is there anything you can't do?
Yeah.
Well, it works, man. I mean, the show has to go on every night.
Definitely.
You see it?
Definitely.
So, yeah, man. So it's but that being said, you also have certain artists that are exceptionally diva-ish. They go beyond the regular, to make things difficult for tour managers or for their crew and management. That is not what Morgan Heritage is. Theirs is just the fact that things has to be a certain way, and that's how they set their thing up.
Okay.
And you, the tour manager, has to execute, make sure that happens.
All right.
It's different from, people throwing their dummy off and, throwing their toys out of their toy room. So we have some artists that are ridiculous. And personally, based on my experience, I would not work with any artist who is in that category. And no disrespect, that is how they see themselves, that they earn a lot of money so they can do anything and disrespect people as they do. That's fine. But me not go do that. Me not go put myself in them kind of thing there.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, in the studio with Skelly. Skelly, let's talk about
Charlie, I want to say good afternoon to Caroline. Charlie, Caroline, go back a long way.
Are you a Caroline?
She are the boss lady.
Yeah, man.
You see me?
She wrote everything.
Are the boss lady.
Yo, she know how the thing go.
How you
Trust
mean?
me.
Charlie, I tell you, after this interview, I know I'm going to be hungry. So let's just some joint today, some place. Charlie, then I won't big up Shoko as well. I've never met the lady, you know.
Oh, okay.
But Charlie, everywhere me they out of this jurisdiction, you know.
Yeah.
Between hours from 1 o'clock to it used to be from 2 o'clock to 3, I think it was.
Yeah.
So one time we did outer road, you know, and I set my things say, boy, at 2 o'clock I listen to Asaase.
Yeah, you know, see.
Shoko Int'l.
Yeah.
Charlie, I see that thing there was no between hours. I said, what happened? So the next day, no, we did and said, then change the thing from. I said, Lord of mercy. So they changed the thing to 1 o'clock. Quickly, I set my alarm to the 1 o'clock thing there.
Wow.
So we now miss that too.
Definitely.
So, now
Definitely.
yeah, man. I have to meet her though. 'Cause I never.
Okay.
I've seen her on screen and thing.
Yeah.
But you know,
Yeah.
come if you come say hello to her.
Of course.
You make that happen.
Of course. Why not? Yeah, Skelly are the boss.
man.
Yo, chill.
A humble servant. So. Yeah, man.
All right, so Skelly,
Uh-huh.
let's talk about the tours you've made, you know, in 2022.
Yeah.
And now we are in 2023. So and I know you're going to continue, but let's talk about some of the interesting ones that you've been on the road with artists, whether still Pulse or Morgan Heritage.
Well, you know, the year started, you know, we've been through COVID from 2020.
Yeah.
So things sort of slowed down. There were a lot of restrictions on movement and stuff like that. And then in October 2021, so you want 2022, but I'll take you back to October 2021.
All right.
There was a window of opportunity, you know, that things were going to be back to some normality. So after my last tour was 2019 November, before the COVID. And then in 2020, I came with Still Pulse to Ghana, and we did the Grand Arena 6 March thing. And then just after that, the COVID hit. That was 2020, right? So then that was the end of touring. You know, the whole world had to take a different approach to things. So come 2021 now, I got the chance to go out in October, and I went out with a band called Butcher Brown. Now, this band was is a quintet. There's 5 guys from the States, and it was a jazz quintet. You know, we did a European tour for 1 month, and that was the beginning of things to come. Now, so from 2021 October was Butcher Brown, October to November Butcher Brown, and then 2022, my first outing in 2022 was in April with Still Pulse. So that was when I got the role as the tour manager for Still Pulse. When I came with them to Ghana in 2020, I wasn't the tour manager. I was just the person that facilitated, you know, the show. But it was through that facilitation and, you know, the way the thing go and thing. And David, you know, took a view and said, boy, by David, I'm talking about David Hines, the singer. So the man take a view and say, boy, Skelly, what I do? I said, boy, there, you know, I said, so what does it take, you know, to come forward and I say, you're the boss, you know, boss. That's what you say. You know?
Talking about the paper.
That's what you say, you know. So I was lounging somewhere in my house in March, I think February, March, and I get a call, you know. I get a call, the man say, boy, Skelly, you ready? I say, yeah, man, every time. So February, we did a European tour. And that, for me, in my career, was the most interesting. You want to know the most interesting? So it was the most interesting tour I ever did as a tour manager. Why was it the most interesting? Because, so David gives me the job, introduces me to the management team, introduces me to the booking agent. So I start a conversation, communication with the booking agent. And one of the first things you do as a tour manager when you get a booking agent's contact is to ask for sales, so ticket sales for the tour. So you have a 3-week or 4-week tour. You're doing like 5 shows every week, different venues. But you, the tour manager, should know how the tour is selling, how tickets are selling for every venue. Laga, the first email I got from the agent, I looked on the email and I said, no, this has to be a mistake. I looked on the thing, out of about 26 shows, about 20 was sold out. I said, no, man, this can't look right, man.
Yeah.
So, I called the agent. Remember, say, over the past before I came to Still Pause, I was doing this for over a decade, about 12 years. And yes, Morgan Heritage, you go out, when we come to Africa, it's big. We go to the Caribbean, it's big. But when we have a tour, which is like a 4-week tour, you have ticket sales, sensible sales, and then maybe 2 days before, the show, okay, the ticket will sell out. I'm talking about the beginning of April. We have a tour towards the end of April, and we have like 20 shows sold out.
Wow.
I was like, Skelly, welcome. I mean, this is the real deal. So the first thing for me was that, wow, we're not going to be thinking about money. We're not going to be thinking about, being able to sell those before we can ask promoter this. Because the way it works as well is if a promoter puts on a show and the show is sold out, that gives me, the tour manager, the ammunition to make sure that everything my artist wants, he's going to get. Okay? Now, if a promoter is selling tickets and the ticket is not selling very well, then me as a tour manager now will have to make, this guy is not going to make the money he expects to make. So we might make certain sacrifices on some of the things we require, and give the man a blind. But once the tickets are selling well, it means that everything that is written in black and white is going to be executed.
Wow.
So we did that tour from April to the end of May, I think it was. So my first tour with Still Pause was that. And then when I came out of that, I think I came to Ghana, and then we were on a different frequency at the time. We spoke, and it was like I'd left Morgan Heritage. I was now with Still Pause in the area. So I went back, after the tour, after I came to you, and then Morgan Heritage had a tour. So I know that there's nothing to do with me because they have a new tour manager. So 2 weeks before the tour, then I get a call from Morgan Heritage. Say, boy, Skelly, where are you going? I say, mommy, there in a bus. Say, why, forward? I said, forward for what? You have a tour manager? The man said, no, sir. I know so you go, man. We need you in a different role. I said, why? Yo, we don't know about that, I said, what you want? The man say, why? The personal manager here now in a car. Where the team reach now, we have a tour manager, but I'm supposed to focus on the art, the band and crew and thing. So we need you if you come in and deal with we as the artists, them thing, because we have a good relationship that goes way back. I know everything about those brothers, and when a man look in a certain direction, I know what that means.
Definitely.
When a man, you see them thing that.
Definitely.
So I said, all right then. So that was a 7-week tour, So we did that, and that was European as well. So we did that 7-week tour till the end of, I think we started from July till about September. Now, when I was on the road with Morgan Heritage, then I get a next call from our next band that it was actually I got an offer from a band A, and it was very unusual of me because normally my correspondence is back to back. Like, you send me an email, I'll respond straight away. You send me a code. But I got an email from a band, an offer. And for some reason, I didn't respond. I was just reviewing this thing, I don't know why. I just didn't respond. So it was like, I got the email on a Sunday. All the way till Friday, I didn't respond. I wake up on Saturday morning, and then I had another offer from a band that I had worked with before. Lucky Chops.
Wow.
So I took a view and I said, no, there's a reason why I didn't respond to the first band.
Yeah.
It's probably because I wasn't meant to do that tour.
Definitely.
So as soon as I saw the second band that I've worked with before send me an email, I had to get back to the first band and say, look, sorry guys, I'm not available. That's after 1 week.
Wow.
And then they go back to me and say, what do you mean you're not available? Like, what's going on? I said, well, I'm just not available. Say, is there anything we can do for you to become available?
Easy.
I need to hear this song in my ears.
Yo.
Wow.
So I said, no. I mean, that it's just not going to work.
They want you to be available.
Brother, I said to the man initially I had to come to Ghana. I said, no, don't worry about it. You buy the flight, you go and come. I said, why? I'm not. Anyway, so cut a long story short. So come end of October, November, I went out on the road. So I've done Still Pause, I've done Morgan Heritage. And then end of October, I came out with Lucky Chops. Again, that was in Europe.
Wow.
And that was another 4-week tour. So we finished Lucky Chops in November. And after November, December now was going to be the big one because it's something that I've been wanting to do for a long time, but I never had a chance. So that Morgan Heritage came back and said that was going to be in December. And that's what you put on the flyers we're going to discuss, which is the Jamrock Cruise.
Wow.
So I did Still Pulse in April. I did Morgan Heritage in the summer. I did Lucky Chops, in autumn. And then did Jamrock Cruise in winter, in December.
Let's talk about Jamrock Cruise, and then we can activate the phone lines for people to call in and ask questions. Your experience on a cruise, how was it like?
Well, the Jamrock Cruise, I would say to any person that loves reggae music, that although it might look like it's expensive, it's an experience that when you are able to pay the money to experience, you can retire from going to shows. No, it's serious.
Yeah.
It's a 5-night on a ship, right?
Wow.
And every night you have at least 5 to 6 reggae artists performing on the same stage. So for the 5 nights, you're going to get about 20 artists. Now, this doesn't happen anywhere. You know what I mean? Because we do festivals and we have a lineup. So you have different people, different artists performing, but it's at the same place at the same time. Now, with a cruise now, during the day, there's so many things to do. Okay, you come on deck, there are many activities on deck. And then in the night, you have the live band performances. And then you have the clash as well going on down below in the berth. So it is expensive. I don't know how much it costs because I went there to work, but people say it's expensive. However, I believe that it's an experience of a lifetime. Now, I work in the industry and I've done for so many years, but on the cruise that we did 2, all right, so this is how it works. The cruise will normally leave Miami and then it will go to Jamaica. It will do 2 stops in Jamaica and then go back to Miami. So all this happens within 5 nights. So when it leaves Miami, the first night that it sails, there's going to be a performance. Then it will cruise. The second night, there's going to be a performance, and then they will dock at one location. People will come off because some people don't book the whole 5 nights. Some people, you can book 2 nights or 3 nights or whatever. But the artists that perform, normally, they don't stay on for the whole cruise. They stay on for the period that they need to perform. And then once they finish performing, they come off. The only artists that stay all the 5 nights are the Marley Brothers. Because as you rightly said, the cruise is by Junior Gong.
Yeah.
And normally, Stephen so far is always there. Stephen Marley is always there. And Junior Gong is there. This trip, Kimani was there as well. But Julian and Ziggy were not there on this trip. But I think they've done it previously. So the Marleys will be there every night of the 5. But you have artists on rotation every night. Now, we got on for the first night that we got on, we didn't work. That was our relaxation night. And then we worked the second night. So the first night that we got on, we had Baby Sham. He used to be called Baby Sham, but now they call him Sham.
Sham.
And then we had Maxi Priest. They had a big dirty stinking Shabba. Jesus Christ.
Easy.
Yo, you see, I work in the industry and I love Buju Banton.
Yeah.
But Shabaranks, Lagazi, Shabaranks. No, man. Man. If Shabba is performing anywhere at any ticket price and you go, you would never have any regrets.
Of course.
Shabaranks. No, sir. So that was the first night. And then the second night for our performance, I think we have Alain, we have J Boog, and then we had Morgan Heritage closing that night. We had some other smaller acts before. But the cruise is an experience of a lifetime. And I would encourage any person that is considering doing it and they can afford it, to do it.
All right. So, what exactly is your memorable moment on the cruise?
Shaba. Shabo. And I've seen Shaba before, I've worked with Shaba before.
Yeah.
Like 2011.
Okay.
But what amazed me about Shaba is the fact that he's growing. We're all growing.
Yeah.
Older, not younger.
Yeah.
But he still has the same energy and the stagecraft to the extent that he mounts a stage in a 3-piece suit and finishes the show bare-chested. It's amazing because, when you watch athletics, or even football, you realize that people, as they grow older, are not performing. That's why people retire early. Footballers retire early. Athletes. If you look at Shaba Ranks and his performance, and even if you look at Shango as well, Capleton, he's also got the same energy. Uju still got the same energy. Shaba is something else. The guy is a phenomenon. He's something else, Wow. So for me, the highlight of my experience on that cruise was watching Shaba Ranks perform again. And he had the crowd in his hands. Like every tune is a hit.
Wow.
And he ran through. No, man. Shaba is a phenomenon. So for me, that was the highlight of my experiences on the cruise. It was Shaba Ranks.
All right.
But the other thing that surprised me, and again, I'm saying this because I've never been on a cruise. Food.
Yeah.
Yo, Laga. Yo. There was food 24/7. If you love food, go on a cruise. There was food, and this, I don't know. I've never done a cruise, so I didn't know this. When you go to eat, there is food. You're not going to see a pot that is empty because they ran out of something. There is food throughout.
Wow.
The only time they will close a little bit, maybe some 2 hours, to change the menu, the complete menu.
Wow.
There is food. That was one of the things that surprised me. And the food is not just restricted. You can come and take the food to your cabin.
Yeah.
Like, there's no restriction on what you can eat. Like, eat as much as you like. So if you're a foodian and you go there weighing 100 kilos, you come back with 120 kilos.
All right. So, people, how do I put this? So, on that particular night, when you go on the Jamrock cruise, there is a clash. And me, I'm so much interested in the clash aspect. So, I realized that Skelly was on the cruise. So, I said, yo, let me place a video call to Skelly. When I placed the video call, Skelly was eating by then in his cabin.
Laga. I crucify you, I crucify you now.
So I'm like, yo, Skelly, I'm linking you pertaining to the clash. And he was like, yo, you need to talk about Shaba. I'm like, no, man, Skelly, I need a clash. He said, all right, because of you, I'll just step down and go and check it out for you. So far, so good. Iris and Chin put out like a streaming link, but I was fortunate that I had Skelly in there via video call, and I was enjoying myself. You understand me? I was standing at one part of my room, and I was enjoying the whole night. You understand me?
Yes, sir.
Skelly, looking at the clash, your experience with it. We've been pushing this agenda in Ghana, for so many years. You understand me? And I'm so glad that you were on the cruise and you experienced, like the heated aspect of the clash and all that. What would you tell Ghanaians about the clash on the cruise?
I have to confess that, like, you know me, I'm a roots man.
Yeah.
And I don't dabble in, the dancehall and them kind of thing there. But we finished performing, and Jamere Morgan was going down. Say, boy, Skelly, like the clash, I said, what clash? Say, boy, downstairs below the third floor, the third berth or something, they have a theater. I said, no, man, I'm tired, man. I want to go get some sleep. No, man, Skelly, come through. So we went. And I said, where have I been all this time? When we're about to enter the place, it it was ram.
Yeah.
It was full. But we were fortunate that, okay, we were working crew, we were artists, so we had artist passes so we could go around the back.
Yeah.
Now, as it goes with a clash, the clash is driven by the audience. You know, it's the noise of the audience that drives the energy of the clash, right? So when we entered, the place was quiet. Like there was no shouting and rare, but it was jam-packed. But then the guy who was supposed to be performing at the time was irate. He was cussing out. Not bad word, but he was very furious. Because apparently there were technical glitches. So he thought he was being sabotaged, you know. But it so happened that it's not like he that was being sabotaged. It was just an issue that they had with the equipment generally. But then we got down to behind the scenes, the backstage, you know, like I said in a previous conversation, Damian Marley, who puts the crews together, is a big fan of sound system as well. So Damian was there. So luckily, by the time we got there, they were able to fix the equipment. And then, you know, this class started happening again. The guy that was on before, Dynamic is the African guy.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Yeah.
What are you talking about him? The guy that was before Dynamic, you know, he was a bit upset because he thought there was a sabotage. It wasn't a sabotage, but the crowd started getting frustrated with him and things. So they were like shoving him off. And then Dynamic came on. And I couldn't believe he was African.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it because the way he had the crowd responding to him. And like you said in a previous conversation we had, the sort of things that he says on stage, the joke, you know, the antagonistic, and he's in a jovial way, the murdering. The guy had it spot on. And every tune that the guy was going to introduce, he had something to say before the tune was played, and he linked into he beating his opponents. It was just beautiful. I've never experienced a clash like that before, but there's no surprise that he won. Because when the other guy came, you see, what happens is once somebody is murdering you and attacking you from all angles musically, when you come back, if you are not strong to counteract what he did, no man, you might not even come back.
You might not even come back. Yes.
No man, you can't come back. So let's bring it back home. Like I say, I've seen you, and I'm not saying this because you are interviewing me, but I've seen some footage of how you've dealt with clashes, you know, and I was saying to myself, why isn't Lagazi on this cruise? Because, you know, even if it's not about you winning the clash, it was going to be an audience that I believe that, you know, you could, seeing what Dynamic did.
Of course.
And what I saw you do on social media or YouTube or whatever.
Definitely.
It's something that I believe that you can also go in front of people and them now go buckle you out.
Of course.
Or throw water upon you. You are go wall it.
Definitely.
But, so let me talk about we as Ghanaians and over here and what you are trying to do with this sound clash thing. We love reggae music. You know, Ghanaians love reggae music without a shadow of a doubt. The culture is not our culture. Okay, the reggae culture is something that we have gradually imported from the people that initiated it. But those people are our own people.
Definitely.
Because they are from the loins of our forefathers and our ancestors, right?
Definitely.
So we import it here. We love the reggae music. Now is the time for us to embrace the sound clash thing as well, right? I believe that people should, like the way I was close-minded, I didn't know anything as I confessed. People should open up their eyes and give it a chance to see what a sound clash is. And Lagazi, you have sort of built yourself and earned the accolade to be a forerunner, a leader. So we need to find avenues of how you can sort of put things together and hold events, clash events. I think to start with, a lot of the time it has to be free events because
Of course.
people are worried about paying money to come and see.
Of course.
Make the free event for them to come and experience it. And after that now, when you start charging them to come in, Don't know. Yeah, man. We know what we are going to see.
All right. So we're organizing free event for people to come in and witness. So remember, there's going to be a Skelly versus Ras Mubarak.
I don't know about that. Like I said, I don't know about that.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I've promised myself that I'll never do anything with a politician again.
yeah.
Yeah, man. No, man, but soon time, man.
Of course. So let me read this message coming from Jabode. He says, greetings to Agnes, Jechibia, Elizabeth, Emisa, and Sarah Ampim Dakun, all of St. Thomas Senior High Technical, School, Asamankese, doing the listening right now. They are beauties stock pile. Charlie, this stockpile issue, they go far.
I think the stockpile, you need to find a new term. Because right now the thing is violated. You see me?
Yeah, man. So Chichi Dudu says, deep conversation going on from the top mandem. Vivid and imaginary in words. Skelly so loaded. I jealous his experience. Yeah, man. It's not easy. His experience there is rich. All right, so we have 7 minutes to go away.
What?
We have
Lie.
we have 7 minutes to go away, but
Lie.
let's do something. Let's try and open the phone lines and let's Debbie, can you step in there and make sure that everything is all right in terms of the phone lines. 0200 009951 0594 0594 157777 is the line for you to call right now. This is Jamrock Morgan. All right, someone is on the line. Hello.
Yeah, greetings from Your Majesty. Yeah.
Rastafari. What is your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Takumano. Yeah, my name Multitude.
All right. We have
time I'm here from Skelly.
All right.
Yes, I. Skelly Dread. Boy, me there, the works, hills and valleys.
More grease to your elbow.
We give thanks, sir. We give thanks.
We miss you for your former selector station.
You see it?
So now when you tune there, we don't get you.
You see me? Come on, me not there about, man. Come on, me soon forward, man. Don't worry about it. Me soon forward.
So when we are going to come back?
Boy, pray for me, I'll come back later in the year. I'll to eat a food. Yes, sir.
You say King Lagadi.
Yeah, man.
Dim lag up, yes.
Respect. Give thanks. Let's pick the next person on the line. Hello.
Yeah, hello. This is Chichi Dudu.
All right, Chichi Dudu.
Look, yeah, man, brother. Look, this is more than any reggae university you attend. Like the guy, Skelly is just like giving me a feel of what it takes like to be that kind of person. In words, you can't get it nowhere.
We give thanks.
So loaded, so deep, and please, we beg him, the social media that he for come small, we beg.
Yo, brother, have you heard the song, The Telephone to the Mash of My Life? You never know what you ask. Yeah, man, respect. All right, sir. How you mean? Social media nearly mash me up.
All right, Chichi Dudu, big up yourself, man. Yeah, man. So you can also give us a call on 0200 009951 or 0549 157777. You can call us and let's reason. Somebody's on the line. Hello.
Hello, King Lagadi.
Yeah, what is your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm Akubuatin calling from Asamanke.
Akubuatin calling from
Asamankese.
So I suspect foul play. I suspect this guy. I think Rasmorak sent him to call. All right, go through, brother.
Oh, it's a nice thing having both of you on the radio. I think last 2 weeks it was reasoning on 45 and dog plates and all that. And this time around, it is about touring. I mean, you are giving us an insight to so many things. Thank you very much.
Yo, Lagazi is the boss, Lagazi is a 7-star general, When he said the agenda, you just have to jump, you see me?
Skelly is the boss.
No, man. That's so about man.
All right, give thanks. Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Charlie, I want to say hello to Miss Joyce Ametokovi. Yeah, Davy Joyce, Charlie. I respect his stock pile.
I think, let's pick the last caller. Hello.
Hello.
What is your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, my name is Samingo Kante.
Calling from?
Samingo Kante, yeah. Yeah, speaking from Bunumbura.
Okay.
Yeah, that's great interview with Kelly. Kelly is really loaded. We love him. Now, but since he needs to protect himself, like you rightly said, I also agree with him. But I will introduce one guy that he should find. I suggest that he should, since we can't get to him,
Yes,
you should
sir.
find one artist by name Ben Jerry Telfa, living in the railway estate or so. We must link up with him. I'm
give
sure
thanks.
when he links up, he will know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, man.
Great.
Make the links with Lagazi, man. Lagazi are the general, so you know
All right,
it.
okay,
Yeah, man.
okay, right.
But Lagazi,
Then,
you know,
Legacy, you need to find Ben Jerry Telfa.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
Bye.
right. Respect. We can't pick the call again.
But you know, Lagazi, I know
yes, Kelly.
you are do the interview, but I just want to put it out there that Lagazi, for any artist in the dancehall industry in Ghana here, I don't care who it is, before they became who they were, they passed through your hands, brother.
Definitely.
All right. I just want to put that in out there. So them man there have to listen,
Definitely.
No, man, them man there, 'cause you see, let me tell you something, my experience, an artist will come and go, My presenter, your time will never pass.
Of course.
All right. So my advice to these people that feel that they are the top today, don't forget Lagazi, Don't forget where you came from, because you hit the height of your career and you start dipping down. Lagazi will still have the mic talking to millions of people. But me see what I'm going, I just don't want to talk. No, ma'am. Me see what I'm going,
Definitely, Skelly.
When there's a saying that you should be nice to the people on your way up, because there are same people you meet on your way down.
Of course.
All right, enough said.
All right.
All right, sir.
Oh, God. Before we wrap it up,
King Lagazi, excuse me, pretty lady. Nice to meet you. My name is Jimmy Ray. Never said you move right around.
let me big respect to Junior Maestro all the way in Norway. Big up to FA Watcher all the way from the UK. Big up to Gaspar Lodivoko. Yeah, man, all the way from Kenya. He said, greetings from Kenya, Gaspar. Such a saying, big up yourself, man. Yeah, man. I have Rasgege in the place. He happened to be a fan. He's been listening to us a lot, outside and all that. And today we have him in the studio. Let's take a word from him and come back to Skelly and wrap it up. Rasgege.
Listen up, King Lagazi.
Yeah.
You are the boss. You are the man. Trust me.
Skelly are the boss.
No. You are the
Skelly
man.
are the boss.
Lagazi, you are lead the way. And everybody are follow.
Definitely.
You understand? Look, more grease to your elbows,
Respect.
King Lagazi. Yeah,
Respect.
you're doing a good job.
Give
and
thanks.
we are all long-time reggae fans. And,
Definitely.
we respect what you're doing. You're
Give
bringing
thanks.
back everything back to life, from old to new, from 19 lang to 20 lang.
Definitely.
Lagazi, yeah?
Respect, Rasgege, for passing, at least paying us a visit, kind of, give us a joy that at least we are doing something that people will love to come and say, all right, big up. You understand me? You're doing a great work. We respect that.
I think Lagazi, you should have done this for 2 hours, not 1 hour. But I would have loved to hear Rasgege speak to you.
Of course.
Time just gone.
I'm just gone.
But we give thanks to. We probably put something together in the future.
Of course.
I want to say something before we leave as well.
Definitely.
I listen to your radio station a lot. And
Definitely.
And like I said, my favorite program is Between Hours. There was
Definitely.
a program between Ashoko and Caroline.
Yeah.
The one she interviewed Caroline.
Yeah.
One of the best interviews I ever listened to.
Wow.
Now Shoko and Caroline. I don't know whether there's a clip of that thing where people can pull for me. Enough respect to the people, the one and ones, and the people that be, and it was a great joy coming through Lagazi.
Give thanks, Kelly, and we wish you well on the road. And as you go in, I know when you come back, we'll have you again, and then we'll look at what you've done again and all that kind of thing. Because
New Zealand, Australia, there we are, goodness.
You see it?
You see me?
Big things are going on. So give thanks, Kelly, for coming through. Yeah, man, my name is King Lagazi. I would like to say big respect and thanks to my producers. Narobawa, big up yourself. Debbie Day, big up yourself. Junior Maestro, big up yourself. Benedict Jaffes and Bob Africa.
Easy.
Technician on duty, Jonah. Jonah, big up yourself, man. You understand me? You make everything look easy, man. How am to them, no man.
Easy.
Mr. Jando, manners and respect. Solomon Tay, big up yourself. Hey, Prince Moses.
Easy.
Uncle Kojo Mensa. Large up, Onu.
Easy.
My name is King Lagazi. I'm leaving you in the hands of Christopher Ellis. This one is a dub plate from the song Rubber Dub. You understand me? We play it and we play it big. You understand me? We're yearning to go there. Stone Boy is all the way in Jamaica. He did well on Rebel Salute. Stone Boy, you witnessed the clash. So when you come back to Ghana and man plays a call to you that the dub plate, you must fix it. You must fix it. You understand me?
Easy.
All right. Make